Before the Giants play their huge game against the Washington Commanders on Sunday Night Football, New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby chatted with Giants defensive end Jihad Ward for his weekly Q&A. So let's see what Steve learned about the Big Blue player as Steve joins me now. Steve, how's the week going? You have a big week of football, weekend of football, I should say.
Yeah, well, Giants Commanders tonight at FedEx Field should be a good one. And, you know, with the Seahawks losing the other night, that impacts the Giants and the Commanders. It's not as must-win of a game as it would have been. For the Giants, though, it's a must-win in this regard, psychologically, to stop the bleeding and prevent any crisis of confidence that could develop from their recent slide.
Yeah, we will see how that goes. And, you know, we'll wonder if they'll have the mentality heading into tonight's game with that. We'll see what happens there. Now, Steve, when you talk to Jihad Ward, his on-field mentality seems to be connected with his North Philadelphia upbringing. How has where he was raised impacted his approach to the game of football and his perspective on life?
Well, he refers to North Philly as the city of no hope. And he saw his older brother, Darren, gunned down and killed at the age of 29. And so that has scarred him. He has plenty of scars from growing up there, from the negativity. He himself had to dodge bullets running to his grandmother's house as a young boy. But one thing now you'll not see from Jihad Ward, he has learned not to fold, never to fold. That's what he prides himself on the football field. He's surprised he's alive at the age of 28, but he has become a role model of positivity for the youth back in North Philadelphia, and he's proud of that, as well he should be.
He absolutely should be proud of that. And Ward, from reading your Q&A, Steve, he strikes me as a very confident individual. Despite the Giants' recent struggles, how is he feeling about the team as they try to close the season out on a strong note?
Well, he knows how important this playoff run is now, but he's very confident in this team, as well he should be. Dexter Lawrence is the bully that he plays with. Leonard Williams is a bully when provoked, and he describes himself as a live wire. You never know what you're going to get from him, because he himself doesn't know what you're going to get from him on the field. He loves, obviously, playing for Wink Martindale. They all do. And he loves the fact that Wink is almost like an uncle at a cookout. That's how he describes Wink and Brian Dable. He likes Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari as future double-digit sack guys. So it's time, in his view, to stop the bleeding. It's time for Giant fans to believe in this team again. They haven't believed in this team for years. They're wavering in their belief right now, but his message is keep the faith.
All right, keep the faith. Giants fans are going to have to do that till the end of the season, because some Giants fans I talked to have not been keeping the faith. Some of them, just some of them I've talked to. Now, Steve, I'd say he described himself as a live wire. I feel like you could be a live wire on this segment, because we never know what we're going to get from you.
What do you mean by that, Dex?
I mean that.
I'm consistent. I show up every week with my flannel and hoodie. And by the way, nice hoodie on your part.
Why, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the hoodie. I'm glad you do. We do know the flannel is consistent, right? But in terms of props or how you might answer the question, nobody ever knows. This is why the people tune in.
Yeah, well, you're right. I am a live wire, and I'll never stop being a live wire, and I don't want to stop being a live wire. What's the fun in life if you're not a live wire?
Got to enjoy
right?
life. You got to.
Now, wait a minute. But before I go, our rolling Q&A has to continue with Dexter Henry. So let me ask you this. What would you say drives Dexter Henry today?
I think what drives me today, and what's probably driven me for some time, is the desire to be great. I want to be great at what I do, and I want to make my family proud. That's what really drives me. It's just that innate desire that I have to be great at my craft and work hard at it all the time, but knowing that I represent my family and the people that love me, and I always want to make them proud. So that's what drives me as I get up every day to do what I do.
Sure. Well, you know what? You're making my family proud, if that means anything to you.
It does mean something to me, yeah.
And one other thing, as a young kid, what drove you?
I think it's not that much different from now. I really don't think so. I think I had a very good awareness of where my parents came from and their humble beginnings. And so I think they pushed me a lot to be the best that I could be. And I think that was always in the back of my mind and drove me. But I always wanted to be great at whatever it was I would do. So just a hard worker, hard studier, and always working on my craft. So I really don't think nothing has really changed in terms of where I was at younger and what drove me till now. It's been pretty consistent. Maybe that makes me not a live wire, but I've been pretty consistent in that.
Well, you've been very consistent, and your family has to be proud of you. And I'm just curious, who was your boyhood idol growing up, aside from myself?
Oh, beside you? Yeah, because I was reading you in the post for a while. In terms of sports, or just in anything, in anything really?
In any walk of life.
You know, it's funny. Growing up as a Knicks fan, I was a big John Starks fan. Emulated a lot of him. But it's really my role models. I always say this to people, and it might sound cheesy or short, but my parents. It's really my parents. It's my mom and my dad. So those are really my idols and people who I modeled a lot after. Yeah.
Do they enjoy our segment?
They do enjoy my segment. My mom is no longer here to watch the segment, but my dad has seen the segment, and so he enjoys it. He'll enjoy this one because he's a Giants fan, so he'll enjoy that one.
What's his first name?
First name is Victor.
Victor, you did a great job. You did a great job with this fella.
Man, he'll appreciate that. Thank you. A lot of questions, Steve. That was a real rolling Q&A today. You got a lot of questions.
You know, I'm the question guy, and you and my subjects are the answer guys. So
that's true. Most times I'm asking you the questions. Now you ask me. I appreciate it, though. That's Steve Serby, New York Post sports columnist. Check out his Q&A with Jihad Ward, and we'll see how the Giants do on Sunday Night Football. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Dex.